is that they have put some great programs in place with very poor implementation. So I think it's important that whoever the next president is understands the importance of the implementation of processes. Just as two examples, we have went from Blackboard to Moodle, which was a good move, and the university went through a lot of I don't want to call it trouble, but a lot of process to make sure that the faculty members were trained on Moodle. But yet for us students, we weren't offered anything, and that's what we learn on. And then the same thing with the email system. They got this new email system so that as students, when we graduate, we can have a lifelong connection to the University of New Orleans, which is important. But however, as a student right now, I can't get in my address book and contact anyone that's a faculty or staff member because there was no integration. And these are great strides forward for the university, but if they'd taken a little more time to implement it a little better, I think they'd be much better than what they are now, and they'd be more useful for the university students. And I think that's one of the things that the new president needs to have in mind, is that implementation is just as important, if not more important, than the actual program itself. Thank you all.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Gerald Whitney. He's a member of the faculty at UNO, and he'll be followed by Sybil Boudreau.
Well, I've been here since 1979, and there have been 4 searches over that time. And clearly, this is the most important one since Homer Hitt was appointed. That this is the one that everybody is interested in. I have never seen this much interest in a search than we're having right now. And I want to thank you for the time that you're taking from your jobs and your responsibilities to help us here at UNO. But I also would like to urge you to take as much time as you need to find the right candidate. I'm a little concerned with the timeline that it may preclude some candidates from applying simply because they may view that they have to be here on January 1st and ready to jump in. But again, I want to thank you for the time that you're taking away from your duties and your jobs to help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Sybil Boudreau, who's a member of the faculty, and she'll be followed by Lindsay Jackiel.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased that you all are here and are open to this, listening to the members of the UNO community, students, faculty, and other people from the area around here. I'm a member of the library faculty, chair of the Louisiana and Special Collections Department. The most important thing, I think, for our next president is, our first president, as Dr. Moffitt said earlier, is to have a vision of the place that the University of New Orleans can serve in the community in all areas, educationally, politically perhaps, economically. We have a great role to play in this city, and I think that we have not played that role for a good many years, and I think it's important that we take the place that we should have in the community. And I also think another big issue is for this person to come in and to improve the morale at the university, as Brandon mentioned earlier. I think that that's something that has diminished. Perhaps Katrina had a lot of effect on that, but I think that this individual needs to come in with the qualities to be able to implement that. And I also think this individual needs to be someone who will not only just work with the people in the city and the downtown and the business community, et cetera, but who will get out and walk about the campus on a regular basis to mingle with the students and the faculty. Because I think at some point in time, leaders of universities tend to be directed elsewhere and forget, and they can really learn a lot by just walking about, as I like to say. So thank you for your time. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Lindsay Jackiel. She's a student at UNO, and she'll be followed by Alan Millett.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Lindsay Jakiel. I'm a PhD student here in higher education administration, and what you all are doing is one of my main research interests. I'm very interested in university presidential leadership and behavior, so I'm really excited to be a part of this process. One of the things that I want to reinforce is the role that graduate students play and the role that the University of New Orleans plays in graduate education. The University of New Orleans offers programs that no other university in this city offers. If you want to be a doctoral student in education, which so many people in this city do, you have to study at UNO. That's true for other disciplines as well. And so focusing on the uniqueness of the graduate program offerings is truly one of the strengths. And I think that the next leader of this university needs to know how to play up and play on those strengths in order to continue to recruit top talent. New Orleans is in such an interesting position right now. It's a magnet for talent. I came here from New York State with my master's degree in hand to be a part of New Orleans, to be a part of change, and to be a part of this university. The next leader of this university needs to understand that taking advantage of New Orleans as a magnet for talent, as a magnet for young people, is going to be the way to lead this university into the future. Not only will you be able to recruit top talent from around the country, you'll also be able to grow and retain the talent that exists here in New Orleans. Not to diminish the importance of undergraduate education, because I also know that that is vital to this university, but I would encourage you to think seriously about a leader who understands what it means for an urban public university to have a strong research mission, strong graduate programs, and adequate support for graduate faculty and graduate students. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Alan Millett, who's a member of the faculty. He'll be followed by Lynette Bates.
My name is Alan Millett, a history department faculty member. Since I've been here just 5 years, I wouldn't pretend to go through all of the ills, real and imagined, that the university has. On the other hand, I spent 40 years in public university teaching. My father was a university president and the first chancellor of the Board of Regents of the state of Ohio, and people have assumed that somehow these skills are genetic. I can assure you that they are not. But I've been an observer of and member of presidential searches and presidential behavior, just I expect out of personal curiosity. The one thing I've drawn from that is that being a university president is so unique that only someone who is a proven university president somewhere else should have this job. It's not exactly like being president of the United States, but it is unique. And a university president has many constituencies to serve, many of them demanding, outspoken. My father said you took care of faculty members by making sure they had parking places. That took care of their concerns. And I think it's a bit more complicated than that. Nevertheless, I don't think UNO can afford to be the place to conduct on-job training for aspiring university administrators. What this university needs is somebody who's already proven that they can do a very complex job quickly and thoroughly. My two favorite presidents at The Ohio State University, well-known victim of SEC football teams, Gordon Gee, who never saw a camera he didn't like, and Ed Jennings, who was a superior president. Certainly those two gentlemen defined for me what a successful university president should be, and the thing that they had in common was that they had already done the job somewhere else, particularly Ed at the University of Wyoming. And so I think that UNO can't afford, at this point in its career, to be a test bed for some aspiring young or even not so young administrator. You need very badly to get someone who can come in fast, hit the ground running, and understand all the complexities of public education, whether they're in this state or any other. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Lynette Bates, who is a member of the staff and also teaches here at the university, and she'll be followed by George Ayuk.